can't just like, you can't put a blonde in a dress turning letters and try to get a Vanna White lookalike. It's not, you can't do that to people. Like, yeah, you can't create confusion for people. It's not allowed.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. And was it Demi Moore in the glass because she looks like you?
It was Cameron Diaz.
Oh,
Demi Moore was like the villain, so it was kind of like separate scenes. Yeah.
interesting. I saw one of the Charlie's Angels, but I don't remember this. But I'm also thinking I saw you at Radio City Music Hall when I saw you at the
It's
Beacon. So
okay.
what do I know? You have a very good memory. And then what this attorney called and you said pay up?
Yeah, we went into like we went, we had to obviously explain everything, and, they did like due diligence about like making sure I was telling the truth about this being a distinctive choreography, and the olive sponge and the design of the glass was exact. They didn't try to change anything. They made it exactly
Wow.
and yeah, and it was like we just had a meeting with the Sony lawyers and the lawyers for the movie, and they looked at the video, they showed me the clip, they looked at me and they're like, right, okay, we'll come back at you with an offer. So they did.
Right. There's nobody I think of in burlesque with a martini glass. It's you.
Yeah, it was like there was a novelty act in this like late 60s, and you can see pictures of her and she sat there, and it's like very not to scale, and it wasn't like a dance in a glass. It was like a novelty of like a sexy girl sitting there. She didn't like do the thing of like, I'm taking off my clothes, now I'm gonna get in, now I'm gonna do these poses and a dance, essentially.
What was it like working on Don't Worry, Darling? Like that scene was one of like these scenes of that movie, like being directed by Olivia Wilde. Like, what was that experience like?
That was amazing. It was like the first thing coming out of the pandemic, like the first big thing. And I was obviously like nervous. I was, wearing the blonde wig, which, just heightened the movie, but it was really like an outrageous scene, like all of those stars of the movie all there, watching, and like just that, they really filmed it like they're like gremlins, because it's like a pivotal scene in the movie, and they're just like, um, but it was a really fun experience. I remember like Harry Styles, like I'd met Harry Styles, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years before. I was sitting next to him at a fashion show in London. I had no idea who he was. And I was just only knew because I got all this like hate email from Harry Styles fans the day after. And I was like, I don't even know. I'm not trying to steal your man. Don't worry. But it was, he was a delight. He kept like checking and like, do you need any water or anything? I was like, I'm pretty sure if I do, there's like a dozen people to get it, but thank you for offering. Like super nice. Like everybody was really fun and nice. It was a fun experience. And I loved my most exciting part of making that movie was actually like that Libatique, who's the cinematographer, is amazing. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be like the best these Swarovski crystals have ever looked, and it does. It's like really, a lot of people like will wear, like crystallized things for the Super Bowl or whatever, and it looks like beads or whatever. But when somebody films it exactly right, like they did, it's magic, it's like, it's hard to capture what it looks like in real life. I know it's totally like, I'm obsessed with my Swarovski crystal costumes and glasses and how they look in the light. And it just was really like, that's for me, the best I've ever seen them look on camera.
Wow. And when you were at this fashion show and you just happened to sit next to him, what the Harry Styles fans were reaching out, thinking like now you were dating him and you were trying to steal their Harry?
I don't know. I was totally oblivious to that. I was just like sitting there, I was with my friend Aaron Paul, and we were sitting there front row, and I didn't know who Harry Styles was because I don't think everybody knew back then unless you were British or if you were into like the boy band thing, and I didn't know. But he was always like super lovely. But I just remember getting like onslaught of hate mail.
You're like, I'm just sitting here, everyone.
Oh God, I'm just sitting in a fashion show. Leave me alone.
How do you stay? I mean, with Jubilee, it sounds different just because you have access to all these costumes, which seems like it's a nice byproduct and surprise. And like the costumes are amazing. But like, how do you stay, like, as we wrap up, like motivated? You've been doing this for so long in like a great way, how
Yeah.
do you stay like how motivated and like, keeping it fresh? Like you're a
Yeah.
creative. how do you find inspiration to just make it new?
Yeah, I mean, well, this Vegas opportunity was a huge like opportunity for me to the first time ever like work with like a big team of people to like bring this show to life, which I'd never had. It's usually like me and Catherine and like you know, my tour manager and production manager like for tours, but this is the first time I've really like had more in it, you know, more people behind it, which is not always easy because I have a lot of like opinions and things that I like that maybe not everybody else likes. You know, I was very like, I don't think we need to have any aerial acts in the show. And they're like, but this is Vegas. And I'm like, I know, but everybody has that. So, you know, it keeps it fresh for me. Like that was easy to make it fresh because it's like such another world and bringing together like the you know the spirit of Jubilee and being in that iconic room with all these things that come out of the ceiling and floors. Like this is a whole different level of showbiz for me, and so it keeps it, you know, very exciting to like have that, but also very high stakes at the same time. You know, like it's Las Vegas. It needed to be the biggest show I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I split my time between New York and LA. I'm in LA now, so I'm gonna have to come out
Okay.
in your
Oh yeah.
February dates. I mean, I know you start because it's been, I don't know when I saw you at the Beacon, but it was definitely at
Yeah.
least it
Yeah.
was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
every
dying.
time somebody sees this Vegas show, they're like, I was not ready for how big this was. And I was like, I know, I tried to tell you, like people that I've worked with or that have seen my show or that, you know, think they know Burlesque show. They're like, I was just not ready for all of that. And I'm like, that's good. So I'm excited. I hope it, you know, we're working on scheduling more dates, and I just love doing the show. And a lot of the former Jubilee showgirls and show guys have come to see the show, and it just like makes me so happy when they see it, and they're happy to see those costumes be on stage again, because you know it's like they're in museums, you know, but they're
Yeah.
beautifully archived. They're in, you know, that's the thing about feathers. If they're cared for well, they can last, you know, 45 years and more, you know, so it's really something to see those costumes live on again in a new way.
Well, I'm not just saying this because you're here. I'm really excited to see it. So I will be coming out to see it. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
let us know. Let us know.
I will. Thank you for doing this. Is there anything else now that we're wrapping up that you want to plug? I'm always like, plug away. Thank you for answering all my questions.
Oh gosh. I mean,
You've written books, you have businesses, like plug
that's my
anything you want.
lingerie line, which Jennifer Coolidge was wearing my bra on the Emmys red carpet. I was absolutely tickled over that. I was like, oh yeah. She just dipped into her lingerie drawer and put that on, and it's like the showcase of the dress. I was so thrilled. So yeah, I have my lingerie line, which is you know, inclusive of sizing too. And yeah, I don't know what else I can say. I'm working on a couple other projects for like later this year, in a show in London in the West End, like that I'll just put my name to and license some of my existing numbers to, and maybe make an appearance now and then. So yeah.
I love it. Well, I will be in Vegas. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. I've wanted to talk to you for a long time, so I really appreciate this and answering all my questions. And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. See you in Vegas.
See you in Vegas. Take care. Have a
All right.
great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.